Move away from my car, Tynesha.
Let me tell you something.
This is 45-year-old Tynesha Evans, and she has no idea that she's being recorded during her final moments alive. But this footage is not an accident. It's the centerpiece of the killer's calculated plan to get away with murder.
Motherfucker.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
Sir, my name is Brian Williams. We need the police at Milton Avenue and Academy Street in Alpharetta. A man just shot a woman in the parking lot at Wells Fargo Bank. There's a black man with an orange shirt, long sleeve shirt, and a blue vest.
Officers rushed to the scene, and upon arrival, their attention immediately focused on a man that they believed to be the shooter.
Let me see your hands! Get on the ground! Put your hands down! Radio, I got one at gunpoint. Let me see your hands! Do not move. You understand me?
I'm not gonna move.
Do not move.
I'm not.
I got you covered. I got you. Do not move.
I'm not gonna move.
I got you covered. Somebody treat her, please. See what's going on. See if she's got a pulse.
The man was identified as 58-year-old Othniel Inniss. He was taken into custody and transported to the police station for questioning. Investigators recovered what they believed to be the murder weapon, a black Glock 22. And the setting quickly raised new questions. Given that the shooting happened in a Wells Fargo parking lot, detectives considered whether it may have started as a robbery that escalated.
Well, when one of the witnesses said they saw him put a gun back in a holster,
he had it.
To make sure
when I pulled up, I think he dropped it.
Yeah.
Because he was just standing here. So we secured him, and then he searched him. So
at the scene, witnesses came forward to give their statements, and their accounts were strikingly consistent. They said that they watched the woman pull into the Wells Fargo parking lot and then walk up to the ATM, and then moments later, a man approached her. What followed appeared to be an argument, a brief confrontation that escalated quickly. Witnesses said that the woman lunged toward the man, and as the two struggled, a single gunshot rang out. But instead of fleeing, the man remained there, standing over her body and making a phone call.
I parked here. I was going to use the ATM. She was arguing with the man.
Slow down. Calm down just a minute. Okay. She was there with the man. And
I think she snatched the phone from him.
And
he just
okay. All right. Perfect.
they're working on her. Okay, so
she's going to be okay, right?
we hope so. Okay, we hope so. They're going to take.
Thank you, Lord.
They're taking her to the hospital. Okay, right now. So.
They got the man, right?
We did. I
Thank
was
you,
able
Jesus.
to. Yes, I was able to.
Yeah.
How many times did he shoot? One shot. What did he do after
that? He got out his phone and was making a call. He was standing there.
super calm. So I just can't believe I'm calm. It's just like when you came up, he was as calm as calm.
Yeah.
He was on the phone. He was calling people, and I don't know whether he was calling you guys because I was trying to call you at the same time.
I saw a physical altercation in the parking lot.
Yeah.
He came at her. They scuffled for like a second, and then she went down and just didn't move again.
Now, while officers reassured those at the scene that the woman was going to be okay, that was far from the truth. The victim, now identified as 45-year-old Tynesha Evans, had died almost instantly. The bullet pierced straight through her skull, leaving her with no chance of survival. Tynesha would never be able to tell her side of the story. That responsibility now fell to detectives, who now must expose exactly what led to her death. Tynesha Evans was a single mother of 4, and despite the challenges that came with raising her children on her own, she found ways to provide for them. She worked full-time in healthcare and was also a published author who wrote books about family, relationships, and love.
She planted so much love and respect and everything into me, and I want my children to be the same.
Before her murder, all Tynesha had told her children was that she was going to the bank. But what should have been a quick stop became a journey of no return for the mother of 4.
Tell your mom you love her before it's too late, because something can happen like this. And I know right now she's looking down, she's smiling on all of us. She's smiling. She wants us to be happy.
mother showed me how to be a man.
This was not a robbery, and the suspect was not a stranger. Tynesha's family revealed that Othniel, known to them as Neil, was her on-again, off-again boyfriend of nearly 3 years. The two had met back in 2016 while working as bus drivers for the Fulton County School District. And with that revelation, everything changed. Detectives were no longer investigating a random act of violence. They were now faced with a possible domestic homicide. But the question was this: what had gone so wrong between the couple that their relationship had ended with Tynesha murdered in cold blood?
So, what should I call you? Neil. Neil, you can call me Dave, okay? So, today you're at the Wells Fargo. What happened?
So she has issues with her right. She has to go to court on Monday. And I went to Wells Fargo and to Wells Fargo on Monday to give her to help pay her rent. Before I left home, she texted me and told me something about yesterday. I went over to Dunkin' Donuts and how somebody sent her a picture of me from another woman at Dunkin' Donuts.
In the days leading up to the shooting, the tension between Tynesha and Neil had reached a breaking point. Tynesha accused Neil of cheating, and according to him, it wasn't the first time. He told detectives that this was a recurring accusation in their relationship. This time, though, Tynesha claimed that she had proof.
I was giving this woman. So I sent her back a text message and I said, I'm tired of you accusing me all the time. So like 2.5 years living together, it's always an accusation of me with another woman. I said, I'm tired of that. I told her, I'm going to give you the money. I said that after that, please don't communicate with me anymore. I said, don't respond to the text. Don't call me because I don't want to hear any excuses. I'm basically just tired. So I got ready when I was going over to the Wells Fargo bank. She called me. I didn't answer my phone. I went to the ATM. I withdrew the money and I was sending her a text because I told her to meet me at 11:30 and it was like 11:38. So I was texting her to tell her I'm at the bank and then I saw her posing through the bank. So she got out of her car, was standing by my car. She came in and I gave her the money. And I just wanted to be over, believe me. I advised her to go to therapy and I went with her. And I go to college and just had to cancel all my classes yesterday because I can't study, I can't focus. No, it's just a whole bunch of stuff that was going on. When she was accusing me yesterday, I did go to Dunkin' Donuts, but I wasn't the same one. I went down to the college to look for my classes, and there was one counselor there, and I went to Dunkin' Donuts further down on North Point. I got a cup of coffee and 2 donuts, and then I went back to the college.
What time was that when you were at Dunkin' Donuts?
It was actually, it could have been around 10:20 or so.
10:20 a.m.
Okay.
And you go to the perimeter over here?
No, the one after you pass North Point going down on Old Newton. The one on the left hand. Yeah, past. Oh, it was down the left hand side.
What's the name of it?
It's a Dunkin' Donuts.
No, okay, that Dunkin'.
Oh, the college.
Yeah.
No, the next person to college. I just reached for my palm. I didn't need to shoot her or anything like that. I had no reason to shoot her or anything like that. And I just remember the gun going on.
Okay.
And that was really
So was this truly an accident? Or was this the breaking point of a long-standing conflict between the couple? As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered 2 separate police reports filed by someone who said that they felt unsafe in their relationship. And, to the detective's surprise, it wasn't Tynesha who had filed them.
Okay. So you moved here in 2010. You said you made some reports about Tynesha before?
Yeah. one was last month, actually. We got into an argument while I was taking her to the bank to get some money, and I had my cell phone and the cigarette lighter, and she called me her name, so I just pulled over and actually got out of my car. And when she got out, I had the headpiece on. It was connected to the phone and kept telling me out of range, out of range. I came here, I filed a report. The officer and I went back looking for the phone. We never found it. He went to her apartment and spoke to her. She said she didn't have it. So I reported the phone as stolen to Verizon. And I was able to get back another phone. And then prior to that, I think it was in 2017, I think, we had a disagreement, and she was actually following me. And while she was following me, I called in to dispatch, and I came here and filed a report on her.
So she's kind of like stalking you a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know why she does stuff like that. She listens to other people, man.
Neil told detectives that he had filed the first police report back in 2017, early in their relationship. After a heated argument, he claimed that Tynesha began stalking him, which prompted him to go to the police. He described Tynesha as having trust issues and obsessive tendencies, behaviors that he said felt emotionally abusive. Still, he didn't leave her. According to Neil, Tynesha promised to work on it, and he believed her. In an effort to support her and help her heal from past trauma, Neil agreed to attend therapy sessions with her. Then, just 1 month before the shooting, Neil filed a second report. He told detectives that after another disagreement, this time inside his car, his phone went missing. He believed that Tynesha had taken it so that she could go through it. When he confronted her and she denied it, he reported the phone stolen. Days later, it mysteriously turned up on the school bus that he worked on. Now, when asked why he never sought a restraining order or a no-contact order, Neil said this.
Because my intention was to just go there, get person money, and leave. I don't want no problems or anything like that. I believe she's got enough problems to be away, and there's really no reason to, I mean, I was supposed to don't take out an order of protection against her, and the only reason why I didn't do that was because I was told that's the one to Papa when she goes to look for a job, and I didn't want to do that. When the officer went in last month, he asked me if I wanted to press charges, and I asked him, well, what would they do? They said they would arrest her, and I said no, because she got a daughter in college. She has her 14-year-old also, and I didn't want their lives to be affected by anything like that. Leave her, like I told her, I suggested to her, going to counseling. We went, he went already to 2 sessions, and there's stuff that needs working out, but I don't know, she thinks she'll listen to other people, or she's paying someone to tell her stuff. I don't know the truth. I don't know.
It appeared that Neil had built a very close relationship with Tynesha's children, and because of that, he said that the idea of interfering with her ability to provide for her family didn't sit right with him. But if Tynesha's well-being truly mattered to him, then what changed?
I get it. So, understanding, we read you your rights, and you're agreeing to talk. You still feel good about talking to me? Yeah, and again, the rights that I read you can decide to stop talking to me at any time, like we discussed. But I'd like to go over the incident again, how it occurred. Can you just tell me again, and I'm asking some questions about it?
Okay. I went to the bank and I looked through, some cash to give her to her lady, her ring. And then when I walked into my car, she wasn't there because I had previously sent her a text message and told her to meet me there at 11:30. And while I was sending her the text message, I saw her pulling into the pulled off the street into a bank. So she came up to my car. I gave her the money, and she was talking about this incident yesterday with me and this woman and how she knows what the woman looks like and stuff. She like stood up on the driver's side door. So I asked her, to remove because my intention was to just go there and get her the money.
Okay, did you guys plan on getting married?
We did not have any plans. It did come up, but like I told her, I needed to get to know her better. I didn't want to move forward with her having trust issues with me because I thought that would have came over into the relationship. So, like I told her, I just wanted to get to know her better and stuff like that.
Okay.
Neil told detectives that Tynesha had informed him that she was facing eviction and needed help covering her rent. Now, according to him, he didn't hesitate. He said that he loved her and he couldn't stand the thought of watching her struggle. But that morning, everything changed. After giving her $380, Neil said that Tynesha showed no gratitude. Instead, she immediately confronted him with accusations of cheating. Neil told detectives that he tried to de-escalate the situation by getting into his car and driving away. But Tynesha blocked his path, using her body to prevent him from leaving. And that's when he began recording, moments before everything spiraled out of control. And the video evidence would later prove that Neil's account wasn't fabricated.
So what, you don't have nothing to say about the picture? Do you have anything to say about the picture? I did not do nothing to you. You can take me all you want to. Like, that's bull.
You come up to me, motherfucker, and I'll knock your ass out.
You don't have nothing to say to me about the picture.
Move from off my car.
You don't have nothing to say to me about the picture.
Move from off of
You
my
don't
car.
have nothing to say to me about the pic donuts at the school. Hugging and kissing on her, right?
Move away from my car, Tynesha.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Shoot, motherfucker. Shoot me.
In the recording, Tynesha can be seen reaching for Neil's phone, triggering a struggle between them. Neil insisted that the accusations were false, claiming that she was only seeking attention, but he also said that he was shocked by how far she was willing to go this time. To get to the bottom of the cheating claims, the investigators pressed Neil further.
And I think you made this clear, but I need to just directly ask you, is there another woman that...
No, there's no one else. I have not...
Any friends or anything that she could mistake for having a relationship or anything? Which is, there's nothing illegal about that,
But there's no one. I'm not seeing anyone. I'm not going to bed with anyone. It's nothing like that.
What Neil didn't know was that the investigators had already reviewed surveillance footage from the cafe, and the results were in. But, shockingly, the evidence supported Neil's story. He had been alone at the Dunkin' Donuts. He walked in, made his purchase, and left by himself. There was no other woman. Neil had been telling the truth all along. But this only added to the mystery. Why would Tynesha fabricate such an accusation? And did she deserve to lose her life because of paranoia?
So she's at the driver's door, you're trying to drive away.
Well, I was standing up in front of her, and I thought I took these little so I can get into my car.
Okay.
And she was saying this stuff about, she knows what the woman looks like. And I didn't respond to that because I really don't know what she's talking about. Then she snatches the phone out of my hand, and she moves away, and I asked her back to my phone. And she said something, I don't remember what she said. And I just remember just going to my gun and seeing the gun went off. And I started going down, but I thought it was like she was faking or something, because I just took out my gun really to like, scare her and let her know, hey, give me my phone back. But I had no intention of using my gun or anything like that.
Okay.
Not my doing.
Because you had no intention your gun. At that point, you didn't feel threatened or anything from her.
Well, I did feel kind of threatened because I don't know. She had this aggression in her voice, and that's one of the reasons why, I said to her, could you please move away? Because this morning she called me at home and she was going off, and I was like, well, hold up, and I ended up hanging up the phone because I had just gotten up. And I really got up, I said my praise, I asked the Lord to bless my day. And I didn't want to go to anything. I didn't want to start off my day with no arguments and stuff. So I just hung the phone up and, that was it. But yeah, like that. But when she was there, yes, I just kind of threatened to go. She was, she was kind of like aggressive, telling me her voice and stuff like that. And I just like to,
I told her everything, yeah. Okay. And she has in fact been not maybe aggressive towards you, but to a point of an annoyance where you have been making reports about this annoying behavior that she's accusing you of. In one case, this particular case, some sort of cheating, and she's accused you of that in the past?
I didn't make a report about the cheating. What I made a report about was, my phone went missing, right? And also when she was following me, I think it was in 2017, because I had called and I had the operator on the line while she was following me and stuff like that. And she told me after that someone told her to do it,
Someone told her to follow you?
Yeah.
So she's been harassing you. Has she made a overt threat?
The email I sent to her, I told her, if she contacts me anymore, I'm going to consider it harassment, and I'm going to come to the police and file a report. It wasn't working out. I love her to death. I'm not going to lie to you. I love her. But it's just this thing that, I don't know.
So you said you had recorded the incident or you recorded partially on your phone, when she was kind of harassing you?
Right, when she was standing in front of my...
And you're asking her to get out of the way?
Yeah.
Okay. And was the phone still recording when the gun went off?
I'm not sure.
Not sure? But she had grabbed it from you before that?
She did take it out of my hand. When she fell, it was actually on the ground, so I took it up to call 911.
Did you call 911?
Yeah, I forgot I had a headpiece on, and then I think it came in to tell something about a breach of recording or something like that.
You dialed 911?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, early on, investigators suspected that the relationship may have been abusive, with Othniel as the aggressor. But as the evidence came in, that theory didn't fully hold up. To gain a clearer picture of the dynamic between the couple, detectives reached out to Tynesha's therapist to hear his perspective.
Well, I am free to say this. There was absolutely no insinuation of in any way that there was any violent tendencies or ideation on his part. I don't, with the 2 visits, I don't know how much I can help you other than that there was there were just no violent threats or ambiance in the room at all.
What the therapist shared wasn't the only thing that caught investigators off guard. According to reports, Tynesha's family was stunned when they learned that Neil was responsible for her death. The man that they knew wasn't capable of this. To them, he was someone who supported their mother and cared for their family. The last thing that they ever expected was to hear that he had taken her life.
None of us saw this coming at all. He basically treated us like his children. He sent me money, and that very same week, he stole my mother's life.
Now, if the gunshot was truly accidental, and if Neil cared about Tynesha as much as he claimed, then why didn't he make any attempt to help her afterward? As detectives were still grappling with that question, Neil asked something that immediately set off alarm bells.
But does that mean you don't feel comfortable talking to me anymore, or?
No, well, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
What is the normal procedure like? What happens after this?
Well, after this, so you're under arrest, obviously.
Okay.
We had this incident in the parking lot, and that's what I'm trying to figure out, what exactly happened, you know? Tynesha had been shot, right? She had to go to the hospital, and it doesn't look good for her at this moment, okay? And so, obviously, we're working through that. So, you're under arrest, and depending on what occurs with Tynesha, those are going to be the charges now. So I'm just trying to get your side of it. Do you understand? What other questions would you have?
Well, when would I be able to speak to, seeing that I am under arrest? If it doesn't look wrong for her, then what would I charge with?
Murder.
Okay, so when would I probably be able to speak to an attorney or someone?
Yeah, so what you need to, if you want to talk to an attorney, you just tell me that right now and we'll stop talking, okay? And then you can, contact your loved ones or contact someone at the jail.
Now, detectives immediately identified a few problems with Neil's actual question. If she's dead, what happens? The first was that nearly 2 hours into the interrogation, Neil had shown no emotion over shooting Tynesha. Secondly, his wording suggested that he didn't believe that she was dead, and yet he showed no hope for her survival either. And third, his focus wasn't on her condition at all. Instead, he seemed preoccupied with the legal consequences, ignoring the fact that he had just shot his partner of nearly 3 years. So to understand exactly what they were dealing with, the detectives decided to tell Neil the true state of Tynesha's condition.
So you saw her bleeding, she fell to the ground. Did you try to get her home and call 911? Did you try to do any sort of medical?
Well, I listened to her and, so I shook her and she wasn't moving. So I dialed 911.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, she is deceased.
Oh, no.
Okay. I think it was kind of obvious at the scene, though, was it not? That.
I honestly, I really couldn't tell because, like I said, it just, the whole thing, I was just in shock.
But you knew that she was shot in the face, right?
Yeah, because I thought it was from her mouth.
Did you think she shot her in the mouth, or where did you shoot her at?
No, I think there was something in her forehead. I assume that's where, she got shot.
Well, how exactly would you shoot her in the forehead by accident?
Say that again?
How would you shoot her in the forehead by accident?
Well, she's almost as tall as me when I pulled my gun out. Like I said, I heard the gun went off. She's almost as tall as I am.
Yeah, but you had pointed directly at her face then, right?
I just, to be honest with you, I just pulled it out. It was not my intention to shoot her.
And I get that. So, you pointed at her face in order to scare her?
I pulled it out, like this. But I didn't consciously choose any part of her body to point the gun at or anything like that. It was just action.
So when you pull the gun out, that's the appropriate action is to point the gun towards the person. You couldn't just hold it down at your side and say, give me my phone back.
Yes, I would say I could have done that, but at the same time, also there, I wasn't thinking, well, okay, I'm gonna probably gonna shoot her or anything like that. That was the last thing that I would have do something that was not supposed to happen.
I understand that. It sounds to me though like potentially you had gotten fed up with her antics against you. Now here you are at Wells Fargo giving her money, and she's still taking it, out on you, and that she's giving you all this anger and accusation that made you mad.
I was mad that I wouldn't say that I was mad to that point where I would shoot her. And in terms of the setup for it, all I wanted to do was just get in my car and move away. That's all I wanted to do. I had no intention whatsoever of shooting her. I didn't think of a body part to point my gun or anything like that. When she actually got out of my hands, I was shocked. I was surprised because I didn't expect that she would have done that.
You said gun, but phone.
I'm sorry, when she pulled the phone out of my hands, I'm sorry. I was shocked. I wasn't expecting her to do anything like that because I don't know what was the reason. I mean, I don't have nothing on my phone that, you know what I'm saying?
Was it just simply the act of filming her, maybe, that you made her mad? And she's like, does she know you were filming her?
Yeah.
And so, like, maybe that made her mad. And she's just like,
I don't know.
I mean, you weren't saying anything to her. I mean, and we'll see the video, but maybe you just don't remember what you were saying to her at the time.
I remember asking her to move out of the way so I can get into my car. In terms of conversation, I don't remember, you know what I'm saying, having a conversation where we were going into a dialogue or something like that. I do remember her explaining that, you know, now she has a picture of what the woman looks like. I don't even know who the woman she was talking about. I really don't know.
I mean, you still love this. You love her.
Yes, I do.
And so, was it your intention to break up with her and end this relationship, or was this just kind of another one of those?
Well, after she sent me that text this morning telling me, you know what I'm saying, about this woman, you know what I'm saying, I texted her back and I said, you know, let's just end it. You know, it's another, because we went through the same thing in therapy the last time we went to the therapist. So why bring it back up? I mean, the therapist already had told her we don't think that she's about or anything like that. So, you know, why bring it back up? I mean,
as the investigation continued, detectives obtained a warrant for Neil's phone. And what they uncovered were disturbing messages between him and Tynesha, revealing a side of Neil that was indeed far from angelic.
Okay. And then, would you mind, I just have a few questions that potentially you could answer, and it won't take very long, but I just want to make sure you're in the right state of mind at the moment to do that. That's okay. Because we're looking at information that's coming in through, his cell phone and stuff, things like that. But your mother may have been accusing him of having child porn. Did you ever hear anything about this?
She told me about that because she overheard a conversation where he was actually talking about me as well.
Really?
And she told me not to say anything to him or anything like that. I was eating something and he relayed a message to one of his friends.
Do you know what the message was? Or?
Basically, the way I was eating something, it made him want to do something to me.
Really?
And she told me it, but she was like, don't go confront him, don't do this, don't do that. And I was just like, okay, so I don't know. That it made him uncomfortable to actually come in the house because she had asked him about it.
Tynesha had also confided in her daughter about a violent incident months earlier. She said that Neil once dragged her out of a moving car, and when she begged nearby bystanders for help, they urged her to file a police report, but she never did. Later that same night, Neil allegedly showed up at her home, pushing at the door and threatening her.
And so, on your way to Dunkin' Donuts, you get a call from her, just checking in the morning.
Yeah, it's normal that, she would call me in the morning.
So you guys are still, although you've kind of cooled it a little bit, you're still in a relationship with her, and she's trying to work through her trust issues with you. And part of that is that she is visiting this counselor.
Yeah.
And if that can work out, you see a future in the relationship. If not, it seems like it's maybe dwindling out.
Yeah.
Is that am I just following you?
Yeah.
Just what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
But all along, you made reports to the police, or at least 2. Any other police reports anywhere other than Alpharetta?
No.
Okay. And it's about like kind of harassing sort of situations where she's either following you around or you think she took your phone? Is that part?
I think she took it. She said when she got out, the phone got knocked out. I think she took it because it's kind of tough, you know what I'm saying? The phone is in my tonsil right here, so she said, you know, that the phone got knocked out.
Okay. I understand. And so you talked with her around 10:20, or you're at Dunkin' Donuts. Sometime previous to that, you spoke with her over the phone. She made these accusations towards you.
Well, no, she only made them today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those were made. She sent me a text this morning and making those accusations.
Okay.
Now,
okay. And she made these accusations. So what was your feeling about that when she?
Well, I sent her a text back and I told her, I said, you know, I can't deal with this anymore. I said, you know, let's just end the relationship because I can't deal with you constantly accusing me of other women. This has been going on for a while, and you know, it makes no sense. I'm not seeing anyone. Even the counselor that we're going to told her, you don't think I'm seeing anyone. I mean, you can't speak for me, but.
Neil told detectives that he had recently returned to school, working toward what he described as his dream career. To support himself, he took on multiple jobs. But, according to him, his relationship with Tynesha had become a major source of emotional strain, one that he said was interfering with his ability to focus on his studies.
And you were feeling like because she's been too much of a...
It's been a lot of stuff with her. I live with her now.
Okay, so let's talk about the past couple of days, okay? Like, so yesterday you said in the morning you went to go drop out of school.
Yeah, I went to drop out of high school.
Okay, what is that? And then you said you went to Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah.
And then this is where she had the issue. But how does she know you're at them?
I told her because when she normally called me every morning when she goes on her break, and I was at Dunkin' Donuts and she called. And you know, I told her I'm at Dunkin' Donuts. The counselor, there was only one counselor at the college. She was going to meet in, and the lady told me that she wanted to finish for another half an hour. So I went to get a cup of coffee and some donuts to eat. I hadn't eaten anything because I'm up early in the morning. And we were on the phone. She normally calls me like every morning when she goes on a break.
What about what time is that? What
She's usually around 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. So what time did you think you woke up yesterday?
Yesterday I was around 5:30.
5:30. You did your route?
Yeah.
Okay, how long? So where do you go? To the Fulton County Depot over here to get?
Yeah, that's right across the street from where we go.
Yeah. Okay. And so 5:30 you wake up, and what time are you over to?
Around, I got over there like around 6:30, 6:32.
So you get in your bus at about 6:30?
Yeah, I got my bus around, I would say about 6:35.
Okay. And then you do your route. And how long does that take you to?
I'm used to be back at the yard at around 9:05.
Okay. And that's everybody's dropped off?
Yeah.
Okay. And from there, what would you do?
I went back home, I changed, and down to the college.
And you are dropping out because you just feel like this relationship was too taxing or just messing you up?
I'm dropping out because I'm behind in my classes, and because of some of the stress from the relationship, some of the stress from my elderly mother, I really can't focus that well, and I really don't want to stay over class. I prefer to get a W than to get an F.
So just what's going on in your personal life has led you to be behind in your classes. You don't want to fail them, so you'd rather have a withdrawal.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you studying?
Cybersecurity.
Okay. Is that a little bit related to what you used to do?
No, that's totally different.
Okay. Cybersecurity, how far along are you in the degree?
I would say I'm around halfway.
And so anyways, you go to the school, Gwinnett Tech right here, all the counselors are busy, or the one counselor.
Well, they only have one.
Okay. And you want to talk to her about withdrawing from class?
Yeah, I needed to speak to her, but she just withdrawing from the class.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Before the police arrived at the scene, Neil made a phone call. Not to 911, but to his sister. He told her that he had shot Tynesha. Later, Neil told detectives that he feared that his 82-year-old mother, who was under his care, would hear the news online. So he wanted to break it to them first, before his arrest.
Okay, so when she was acting aggressive toward you, but she didn't assault you, she didn't have a weapon of her own.
Well, I didn't see anything. I don't know if she does. If she did have something or not, I knew. I had given her a knife because she left and she was complaining that when she was driving, the certain meals that come on to her, and, they like trying to pick her up and stuff like that. So I had given her a knife, and I said, well, if anyone tries to do anything, at least you'll have to seek up protection. I don't know if she had that on her or not, but
right. Yeah. Okay, so the idea is, what I understand, because here she is, and you're giving her that money for what? I mean, 'cause it sounds like you guys broke up. Is that right?
Well, we had broken up before. I told her, I said, you need counseling, and I agreed to go with her for the counseling. So one of the things that I made clear to her was that we were not back to normal. Everything was not back to normal because there was some issue that arose the last time I came and made a report, and I didn't feel quite comfortable at that point going full force back into the relationship. We was talking and stuff like that, but I wasn't going over to her house or anything like that. We were not being intimate. I was just working with her with the counselor, to get things back on track, because I felt it was going to be difficult with her accusing, and still continuing the relationship the way we were having before.
So what was she going to counseling for?
Basically it was like the accusation of, cheating on her, having someone, that kind of stuff.
Kind of like trust issues?
Yeah.
In the reports that Neil filed against Tynesha, he never once described her as violent. And that detail troubled detectives. If he didn't see her as a physical threat, then why did he bring a loaded gun to meet her in the first place?
I'm not looking for, no drama or anything like that. I've come this far, like I said, I've never been in anything like this before. The only time I've ever shot my gun was at the range, really. And, I just didn't, I didn't want no shoot or anything like that. I really didn't.
And so you're just trying to end things amicably, and you're going to still pay her this money? And
well, not pay her, give her.
Give her?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, okay. You arranged to meet her at Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
Because she said it was going to close at, so you had a
I don't know which bank she was going to. I don't know if it was Wells Fargo, it was a different bank, but she said the bank goes to 12. And the Wells Fargo branch is like it's right between both of us. So I just thought that was a good place to meet. I went over to the money, just to her, anything like that.
But you've been with her for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So you learn a little bit more about her, but she doesn't seem to have any really big mental issues from what you've seen.
She doesn't seem to have any big ones. Both me and the therapist, And I'm explaining that because I thought maybe there was somebody from her past, and the therapist from brought that up the last time we were there, that there might be something from her past that is causing her to feel that I'm cheating or something like that.
Did you go to these counseling sessions with her?
Yeah, I agreed to go with her.
And how many of you guys have been to?
Two of them.
But she's been to more?
No, there were only two so far.
And they're recently?
Yeah, the last one was last week Friday, and I believe the weekend pregnant. That's when we started.
Has she been violent towards you?
And like I said, it's just in an aggressive way in which she talks, or she will like come in between me and, you know what I'm saying? I just try to get me angry and upset.
But never physical violence yet?
Nothing.
According to Neil, he never felt at peace in the relationship. He claimed that nothing he did was ever enough for Tynesha. Detectives began to wonder if his unusually calm demeanor wasn't shock at all, but something else entirely. What if it was relief? The satisfaction of finally putting an end to the person that he believed was holding his life back. Well, despite endless doubts, Neil continued to stand by his story, insisting that the shooting was an accident. So, before ending the interview, the detectives asked him one final question.
When you said you wanted to scare her, but you know, a gun is the way, right?
Yeah.
So why would you put it and point at her? Because from what she has said, you reached back and you drew your weapon and just pointed straight forward. What does that say?
To me, it was just
if I was to draw my gun at you, point straight at your forehead, what do you think my intent is?
I would think, well, it depends on the situation also. If you're asking me to get down on the ground, then I would assume that you want me to get down on the ground.
In the same instance that you and your deceased ex-girlfriend did, what if she was the one to do the exact same thing? What do you think her intent would be? Would she just be doing that scared or would she be doing that to harm?
I mean, it could be either or. In reality, it could be either or. And I mean, given the fact that she said to me, I want my phone back, it could be either or.
And you said you loved this woman, correct?
Yeah.
And you loved her enough to pull a weapon on her to scare her.
Just to scare her, not to shoot her or kill her.
Well, let me ask, so
what was your church thing?
Pardon?
What was your thing?
I remember having my finger like this. I don't remember being in the trigger part. That's the part when I said, I thought maybe, she was like play acting because my intention was not to shoot her, and my intention was not to pull the trigger or anything like that. That was not my intention.
And your intention was?
Just to scare her, just to give me my phone back, that's all.
Okay.
Nothing else more than that.
Okay.
Detectives didn't believe the story about a scare tactic or an accidental trigger pull. To them, it all felt rehearsed. It was clear that Neil knew exactly what he was doing the moment that he pulled out that weapon. Investigators believed that Neil was fully aware that Tynesha was furious over the cheating accusations, and they think that he used that to his advantage. This was never just a kind boyfriend offering to help with rent. Detectives believe that he lured her there under that pretense while carrying an entirely different intention.
All right, well, one other question before we take some pictures here. Now, I am going to be talking to her family. Is there any message you want me to pass on to them?
Okay.
I understand.
In the next footage, the final moments of Neil's recording, you hear Tynesha yell, quote, "Shoot me, shoot me." Neil had time to reconsider. time to walk away.
Donuts at the school, hugging and kissing on her, right?
Move away from my car, Tynesha.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Hey, motherfucker. Shoot!
That recording would become the closest thing that anyone would ever have to an answer. The final moments before Tynesha Evans was murdered in cold blood. And the evidence that would ultimately seal Neil's fate was captured by Neil himself. In the aftermath of her murder, Tynesha's children were left to pick up the pieces on their own. But actor Tyler Perry, who learned about the case through news coverage, stepped in to support the family. He helped bring Tynesha's body home for her funeral, covered their rent, and even offered to sponsor the education of one of her daughters. The family also launched a GoFundMe, which ultimately surpassed its goal. 6 years later, when Neil was 64 years old, the prosecutors offered him a plea deal. He accepted, pleading guilty to the murder of Tynesha Evans, along with possession of a firearm. In February of 2025, he was sentenced to 25 years in prison. For Tynesha's family, the sentence was difficult to accept. They believed that the case should have gone to trial, and that Neil deserved life behind bars. But that outcome never came. Nevertheless, despite their disappointment, the family says that they are grateful that Tynesha finally received justice. Now, if you found this case to be interesting, well then you need to check out my video on the wannabe gangster who got an instant reality check.